Okay.
Right, ready when you are?
I mean, I don't know, I like this one the best. I want to try and get him in a show or a competition or something. And yeah, just see where we go with it. Well, it's great to see it up on the wall. I think it holds up. I think it looks good. I'm still interested to look at it. There are aspects in it that I particularly like, which is the shaded side of the face. There's some sort of purples, mauves, yellow ochres, which I was able to do, and a bit of reflected light just in the sort of temple. It's such an extraordinary variety of pictures here, and so it's interesting to see how that sits within all these different styles, but I think it looks good. I wanted to show it off. I'm loving that people have seen it now.
The feeling I feel is pride. My face is hanging in a international portrait prize competition. People may think that, you know, may sound narcissistic, but honestly, I'm really, really proud.
Of that series of pictures, I particularly like this one. I liked, how it's painted. I love the kind of heroic pose. It really goes back to those kind of bold warrior pictures of throughout history. This one felt like it was bolder, more optimistic. This is giving Lalith a very proud pose.
I also see a great fragility. I see a great vulnerability. This whole conversation about men and the traditional stereotypes about what a man is. And I feel so amazed how another man has captured almost the strength, but yet the vulnerability of another man. I was in a vulnerable state. I was vulnerable from emotionally, having worked on that doctor well-being retreat. I was also vulnerable physically because I was semi-naked. I think it's beautiful the way that he is captured in portraiture. Not only showing a brown man, a brown hairy man, it is also showing the vulnerability of a man. I think that this one encapsulates that almost this contrast of strength and vulnerability. There's a thought leader called Brené Brown from the States who talks about vulnerability being a strength. I think maybe the reason why this has been chosen is because I think it encapsulates that, a strength in vulnerability. And going back to men, that men can be vulnerable and that vulnerability is a strength.
I mean, there's all shades of skin colour within the gallery. It really is about the skin. Of course, it was a celebration. That's how the series of portraits came about. I had the opportunity to paint Lalith and I grabbed it because I wanted to explore darker skin and all the colours or the tones within that. And there aren't any other embellishments within this. There's no clothing, no jewellery, no other elements. It really is a celebration, I suppose a painter's celebration of darker skin. That's what it's about for me.
It's amazing to see the portrait amongst all these other faces. Of course, the thing that I'm particularly proud about is about that I'm a South Asian man. There are many colors, all sorts of colors, from East Asian to black, but I think there are very few South Asian faces in this exhibition. So in terms of representation for diversity, again, massively proud that I'm a South Asian face. And the thing that made me even more excited was when, for the preview evening for this competition, the image of me was used. So again, a South Asian face literally a South Asian poster boy for an international portrait exhibition.
I almost wish it was bigger. You really push the kind of heroic aspect of it. The bigger it is, the more wall it's going to cover, and it will catch your eye. There's been some beautiful, small, 8 by 12 inch portraits over the years that have far more intensity and power than enormous ones. I suppose it's the size thing that, given that it is a deliberately bold pose, that could have been pushed a bit by actually making it more substantial. I suppose from painting it in the garage a few years ago, something like that seemed a relatively good size, but then seeing it within a larger space, suddenly you kind of think, no, maybe I could have doubled that easily.
Recently, somebody was asking me about the origin of my name. My name is Lalith, and it originates from Pali and Sanskrit. And the word Lalith, Lalita in the feminine, means beautiful. As somebody who's perhaps not been all that comfortable about how I look physically, seeing myself in an international portrait exhibition, I see beauty. I do think I'm beautiful. And so I think that there is a real resonance with the meaning of my name. My parents, before I was born, spent some time in Japan. They lived in Japan for 5 years, and so Japan has been an important part of my family's history. There is an art form called kintsugi, which is where a broken piece of ceramic is repaired, but repaired with bits of gold in it, so you can see the cracks. Maybe, that this is almost like a human kintsugi, that I see my fragility in that portrait, but it's still beautiful, that there is a beauty to your fragility, there's a beauty to your trauma. I almost imagine that the geometric shapes that Duncan has recreated to capture the shadow in my face, they could almost be like broken pieces of ceramic united together in gold.
What I saw in the shape of his head was a determination, almost a defiance, not an aggressive sort, because he isn't an aggressive person. I saw him looking vulnerable, and it moved me. It left me almost choked with emotion. I loved it.
I think it brings out his character. There's a sort of forensic mind, an eye for detail. He is a brilliant listener, and on that picture, I can see the listening Lalith.
I think the artist has made us listen to what Lal, the way Lal is and the way he comes across through the artist's interpretation of everything he is.
I see Lalith looking very deep, as he does. He always overthinks things. He's a very deep thinker, and just thinks about everything to the extreme. He needs to think about it and think about it beyond how we think about it. And I see that in his eyes there, looking for that extra thought.
Highly delighted to see Lalith's portrait here. Truly lovely painting, the way that Duncan has portrayed him with depth and with emotion. Lalith's emotions do come through very clearly, and this is a caring man. This is a man who's sensitive, who's aware of other people's feelings, and it certainly does show in the painting.
I see Mr. Glass half full there. I see him looking out, looking for opportunities, going forward, and it's going to be all right. And this is how I see him, this is how I know Lalith.
I've been to the gallery today, and one picture that stood out was a picture of Lalith. I think mainly because of how reflective it looks. You can see this strength underneath, and almost this hope, and almost like a warrior type vibe to it, where you can see somebody striving to get to a point and is focused on where he wants to be.
This one has caught my eye really coming in here today. It's interesting the way that the artist has caught the two eyes. I mean, and that is very interesting in the sense that one is definitely looking towards the future, the other one is a little bit sort of further away. There is strength in this person, and a little bit of sadness maybe as well. And for an artist to be able to capture that, it says a lot.
There's a song by a US artist that I like called Kelly Clarkson called "I'm Broken But It's Beautiful." And that's what I see when I see this. I see that inside and my past, there is a depth, there is a brokenness, there is a trauma in there. But yet, despite this, I'm going to hold my chin up high, I'm going to hold my head up high, and I'm going to face this adversity and be hopeful for the future.